Yeah, this is the cover of
Okay,
the book that
we are
I have.
live. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I like this
I
cover.
I have the digital
Yeah,
cover,
me
so I
too.
think it's the older version where it's like a girl, like it's I guess it's supposed to be Vin on the cover and she's like standing and with like a cloak on. But I found this
Mm.
background like of the clouds. I guess the clouds is just the theme. So I was like, okay, I want red clouds just so it's like the ash and all that shit. So I got that background, and then I was just searching for like a book cover, and I was like, which one should I use? And I'm like, oh shit, this one like matches like exactly.
It is,
So it's perfect.
yeah. Even like my actual one, like that picture you have, the coloring is like
Mhm.
kind of off, but my actual one matches your thing like really well.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, I
like
think it's
more.
because the mist is over the book cover a lot. The mist is
Oh
like
yeah,
more
that makes sense.
concentrated on that side, but it will ease ebb and flow so throughout the stream. Although I don't have this one as good of a loop as the other one does, so this one definitely like cuts and then, like restarts like really abruptly. So I
Mm.
shall fix that once I figure out how to do it. This already took me 2 hours just to figure out effects in DaVinci Resolve, but we will learn. All right. Anyway, welcome to Mistborn Book Club. We are starting a new series, and the first book of how many books are in this part? Like three?
There's three in the first
Three.
trilogy.
Yeah. So part one of the first book, which is what, like a quarter of the actual book?
About 26%, yeah.
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 All right. We got the stats. Nice.
Now a very exact number.
Yes. So surprisingly, I actually had fewer notes for this book than I did in Fourth Wing or like the Empyrean series in general, and I think it's because like the pace is a lot slower, which is a good thing. And also he answers like the author answers my questions a lot, so usually the questions that I put in the notes it gets like resolved in a nice way, which I appreciate, you
Yeah.
know?
I will say it's
Yeah.
slower, but it's easier to read because I'm less annoyed.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not skipping pages. I'm not like, ugh, this again.
Yeah, I
And
don't
the
have to roll my
dialogue,
eyes like every other page.
there's
Yeah.
no fuck
It's
in
much
every
easier to
like.
like get into. Like I feel like I was taken out of immersion a lot in
Hmm.
the
It,
fourth
it was
thing
it's
and
never until like the
Iron
end of the
Flame.
book where they're fighting in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame where I'm like
Yeah.
speed reading because I want to know what's happening.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
like the school scenes, I'm like sleep.
Yep. It's that meme like I sleep and then real shit.
Oh yeah, it's like the gumball meme of him sleeping. All right, so where do we start off? So we had a prologue, right? I actually don't even have notes for
Yeah.
every single chapter, just because like some of it was just like a
Okay.
lot of like plot advancement, and I was like absorbing all of the exposition, you know.
So
But
the
The
prologue
pro
we meet
yeah.
Kelsier.
well the Kelsier.
Oh yeah, how do we pronounce his
Yeah.
name? Number one, we must establish this.
I pronounce
Uh,
it Kelsier.
Elsier.
I say Kelsier, but Sanderson, like I said last meeting, it
You
doesn't
can do
matter how you
whatever you
say
want.
it because a
Okay.
book's not finished until someone reads it, and how they
Oof.
pronounce it is the
Deep.
correct way to
You
pronounce
know
it.
this is a real author when he says deep shit like that.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I thought it was also Kelsier. I was like, or it could also be like French. It's like Kelsier or something. I don't know.
It's
But,
CA.
yeah, but in my head I
When
say
he's feeling
Kelsier.
fancy.
Bonjour, I am
Kelsier.
Kelsier with my allomantic metals.
Yeah, when he's trying to like
Yes,
be
that's
fancy, I'm sure. I
He
feel
goes
like
by
he's
Kelsier.
dramatic enough to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's also
Actually, I will now pronounce it Kelsier.
Kelsier. Yeah,
me
because
too.
my
Actually,
brain
I,
goes
I, I
flips.
think
Yeah.
I think Sanderson actually mentions that when he's talking about like how you pronounce it. He's like, technically, it's like French inspired, so it should be Kelsier.
Oh, is it?
But he's
Oh.
like, I say Kelsier. But
He's
he's
like,
like,
I'm
I say
American.
Kelsier. So he's like, it doesn't really
That's
matter.
funny. Okay, I will both as canon in my head. But yeah, I think it would be
But
funny if he
it was a
introduces
nice start,
himself
a
to the
little.
fancy folks as Kelsier. That would be my headcanon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
then,
finish your thought, Lewis.
Oh yeah, I was just that it was like a nice little intro, just like to get us into the world a little bit. Understand, there's nobles, there's ska, which are basically just slaves, I guess.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're,
like,
like,
Or
treating
no,
her
actually,
well.
they're indentured servants.
right.
No, I think they're actually
Technically.
slaves, but and it did leave me with like questions about the world already. Like why is there ash all the time and all that stuff. But also, it leads you to see that Kelsier is a fucking Chad and just murders an entire noble house.
Yeah, absolutely does not care.
Oh, Miana, I think your mic
Yeah, it's
is.
echoing. I'm gonna figure
It's
this.
like it's
Yeah.
like buzzing.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whose that was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that it's still a little bit.
Mm,
Yeah, just kidding. It's still
It's like
buzzing.
small crackling or something.
Yeah.
But aside from kind of just like giving us an intro to the world, not really that much happened in the prologue. But it's just the intro.
hmm
And it has like ramifications in the future chapters as well. What happens
Yes.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also something that we didn't comment on, but I just noticed. Did your books come with maps?
Yes.
hmm
Something I liked, because then it makes sense. And Luthando kind of looks a little bit Parisian too. So maybe it is Kelsier.
Yeah, I think he said like the like a lot of the stuff names and the world is French inspired. I'm pretty sure he said that.
Mm, yeah. He's like,
Yeah, because
yeah.
your stream never has this issue. And honestly, no, it never had this issue in previous Discord when we're on
Yeah.
this. Mm. Maybe you
Oh.
have to like, I don't know. M-
Come on, tech support.
I don't actually know. Maybe it's like some like Discord settings or something like that. Because for a while my mic had issues.
No, but even if I lower my headphone output like all the way down so I can't hear you guys, my mic is still picking up something, and I don't know what it is.
Mm.
That's so weird. What the heck? Wait, talk
Oh,
again?
fun
It's not
fact
doing it
also
now.
by Sanderson in one of his books.
Oh shit.
Apparently,
Okay.
it's very big in the like Mormon and like very religious community because he never has sex scenes and like his like sex adjacent stuff is like oh they everyone wears gloves but if you take it off oh no oh my God that's so hot
Ooh, it's
like
I
like
thought
it's
he
showing
like
was
that's
Mormon.
ankles.
is he Mormon is that
Oh
why?
god.
Let me see. Let me look it up. Because
'Cause, yeah, I saw like this like Mormon book like reviewer talking about it and like why he loves Sanderson. He's like it's not as uh hedonistic as these other books. I don't know why I'm on this part of TikTok sometimes, but
Book
Mormon
talk.
book reviews.
Oh god.
Very niche.
yeah, he's not. He like you said.
Mm.
Wait, it says famous Mormon writers and authors. Let me see. From a web archive. He might be listed in it. Let me see. Brendan.
oh, he is according to Reddit, he's a Mormon.
Yeah,
Wow.
that makes sense. Yep,
Author
he's
Well,
Mormon.
we
lore.
all know that's the truth.
Why is
Yeah, cause he like lives in Utah. He was born in Nebraska. My Mormon,
Mormon country.
my
uh
radar was off. Oh yeah.
but I will say I love you don't just gotta fuck all the time. Give
Yeah,
me
you know,
I
get
like the
give
action. I
me
really like the action in this book.
yeah, like
yeah.
the action, the just the
My boy.
vibe,
The world.
the world.
I can read my sex somewhere else. I
Mm.
just need a good story.
Yeah, I will say after reading so much of these like romantasy books, a part of me is like, I just kind of want the fantasy, but I like the world enough that I keep reading them.
Yeah.
Well, good news for
It's
you is there's lots of other fantasy books in the world that are
yeah, but I'm invested in this
so
fantasy world.
Ooh.
well once you're done.
Oh no,
There's a
yeah.
whole
I'm like
library
I have
out
to
there.
ask if like her other series that I was planning to read, I'm like, is there fucking in it? If no, if there is, I might not read it because I
Damn.
can't
Is
stand
it
it
is
anymore.
it distracting
I
you?
No, it's just sometimes it's like it breaks a story in a way that I don't give a shit about, and
Mm.
I'm just like, just get on with the war,
You know what?
get
That
on with the
I feel
politics.
like that with movies and TV shows sometimes. When like not that sex scenes are always useless, but when there are useless ones, I'm like, bro, I just want to see more like plot advancement, not this like
Y-
you know
This is, and
scene.
also sometimes it happens too fast where it or too often that I'm like, it's not even like worthwhile anymore. We've
Hmm.
seen
Yeah.
this twice
You
or
have to
three times.
build up to it. It's got to be
This
good.
this
Yeah.
is why I love my K dramas, the yearning, the
Yeah.
pining,
Yeah.
the
16
will they, won't they?
episodes.
They kind of hate each other now, even though they loved each other. Like I need like the back and forth. I don't need them to just immediately start going for it.
Yeah.
That's my problem with a lot of the romance books because you read them because it's romance, so they get to the romance too quickly, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to be blue balled for 900 pages,
Oh god.
We're goofy.
Yeah,
and then just
Gooning.
I need to
and then
goon
they
for
just
2 whole novels and then the
no,
third one.
and then not even then they just touch hands, and it's like,
No,
oh
yeah,
That's the
no, yeah,
my
no,
climax.
yeah,
god.
yeah. That, like a longing extended look is honestly making me kick my feet. Like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And just like the caress of hand on hand, the accidental one, but then it's
Ooh,
like a
the
little bit
touch
more
when they brush
intentional.
against
The
each
touch,
other.
Oh,
It
oh,
dude,
like
the
hits it
brush,
on
the
purpose.
little brush is always.
Brush.
It gives me
It got me
tingles.
smiling.
It got me smiling. I just can't. I turned into a what was the name? Goomball?
Goomba.
What?
I don't know if that's the right one.
What?
No, like
Goomba? A
edging.
goomba?
No, the
A
edging
gooner, a gooner.
gooner. Okay, so a goonball then.
Damn, I can't believe we brought it back while we're on stream.
Wow.
Okay.
The
Uh,
off-stream content got on.
Anyway,
All right.
going back to
Anyway, the
Containment
book
breach.
we're reading.
Empire. What we
Going
were
back to
reading.
good books.
Going back to
That
good non-sexual
so
books.
if he is actually Mormon, then I feel like that it sort of lends a different angle to the like main villain of this story being like a god figure.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
interesting because
because
he's like
it'll be
a
like a
king and a god.
yeah, and like Kelsier makes a point all the time, like he's like a man who's a false god, like he's not a real
Hmm.
god. Like, oh, okay, I didn't even think about that connection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
maybe it's
not
not, and it
very
is
well
like
versed in Mormonism. I don't know
it
what
also
that
it's like a
means,
pretty
but
common like trope for that, like men hubris being like wanting to be gods and all that stuff. So it might not be 100% there, but probably parts of it. I also don't know much about
Mhm.
Mormonism, to be fair.
I
Neither
don't
do
know
I.
if it's because I've played too much
Oh, Bitsy in the
JRPGs
chat.
and
Hello.
the
Oh, you're fighting God. You always have to
fighting
fight.
God. You always have to fight God. You always have to defeat God. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
you
kind of
you
used
start
to
out as
the
a boy in a small town and then end fighting and killing God.
God. Exactly. So that made me feel all
Mhm.
the JRPGs that I've read. I mean, that I've played. And I'm like, yeah, we're killing God now. And then
Just like a
that's
Yeah.
the end of the
JRPG.
story.
That reminds me, I have to
True.
play and beat Xenoblade 3 after Inquisition.
Oh, where are you? Wait,
Um,
no, never mind. We have to focus on
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So okay, so moving on to
Moving
chapter
on.
1.
Finally.
We get to see the other protagonist of the book, Vin.
mhm.
The saddest girl in
Oh,
all of like fantasy that I've read so far.
Yeah.
Like I just feel bad for her every time they talk about her past, especially about
Betrayal
her.
is an act of survival. It's just
Yeah. I'm like, bro, this who hurt you? I mean, we know it was her brother,
spoiler.
but like
Yeah, no, her brother, her crew leader, like everybody. She's just a little mouse that gets stamped on and beaten upon.
Yeah, I've
yeah.
been like putting like tabbing this book while I've been reading, and I have a tab that is for Vinizimo,
Yeah, nice.
which is a lot.
And we also get like
But
in this
you know,
chapter,
she's smart.
aside from just hearing how sad her life has been and how much of a piece of shit everyone else is, uh,
Mhm.
we get like the little taste and nudge into learning about the magic system with her luck, as she called it.
Yeah. And it was
Mhm.
cute because of course she wouldn't know as I mean, would
Yeah,
like she's
versatile.
ska, like and a thieving ska. She wouldn't know the elementic metals. So actually, it's like really good because then we both learn at the same time of the world.
Yeah.
without
Mhm.
feeling like expo dumped.
And also,
Mhm.
like, one, she's like a ska, and two, it's like it's not one of the more, we'll go into the powers later, but it's not like something that you can really physically see happen. It's just like a slight, like a in between the lines type power, or the luck she was using. So it's like, if
Mhm.
you, one, don't expect to ever have powers because you're just like a ska who can't have powers, and like it's not something super obvious, you would probably just assume like, man, I really do just got that luck.
I think it was
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
the way he introduced it too, because he just uses the word luck but capitalizes it. So at the first few times, I didn't like realize it was supposed to be like a special power. I was just like, oh, she's just a little lucky, like figuratively, and is like brushing off her luck to like change the situation. And then I realized, like, oh, she's like mentally like actually doing something, and I thought that was cool.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Or I like that they're framed differently because you see Kelsier use like some allomancy in the prologue,
Yeah.
but when this was introduced, I didn't know necessarily that they were like the same thing. I was like, oh, this is like
Yeah.
a different type, another type of magic in this world. So I think it was interesting that like we also get to start from Vin's perspective of like not knowing and then realize with her at the same time that like that's what she's been doing all along.
Yeah, and I think
That was fun.
but anyway, yeah. So far everything has been enough explanation, but with also some questions. And is it the first chapter that we um get introduced to the crew's plan, I guess. What was his name? Cameron? Cameron?
Kamen, and that was chapter 2,
That was
where we see Kamen, I called him the mob boss, but he's not big enough for that.
He's kind of sort of like one.
yeah.
And he's like kind of stupid.
Yeah, Cameron's so dumb. But I mean, it's thanks to Vin that he gets away with his little plan, and he
Oh
doesn't
wait,
even know
maybe it
how.
was chapter 1. Yeah, I didn't write as
Mhm.
many notes, so I actually am kind of forgetting a little bit. But I
Yeah,
think
it's
chapter
like the
2 is when
first part.
he like, where they almost get. We'll talk about it when we get to chapter 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I actually don't have any
I
chapter
mean,
one
they're
notes.
pretty
It was
sure.
all the Vin and canon thing, right?
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
also like learn about her backstory with her brother Reen, or was it
Are they half
Reen,
Mhm.
right?
siblings? Or are they full siblings? I think she may have mentioned they were like half or like not fully.
They're half, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
They
there's
had
a
the
Oh,
dog
same
okay.
barking
mother,
in the
just
back.
different fathers. Yeah.
So her dad is
Oh,
the. So like, oh, I didn't even pick that up. Maybe I forgot that part.
yeah, I didn't notice that.
I thought they were full siblings for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why she
she mentioned.
has um the
Powers,
the
but
the
he
powers.
doesn't. Ah, that
Yeah.
makes
That
sense.
would make sense.
Oh yeah,
Although
they
they
said
could
the
also have
mom was the same, right? It was like the same mom because the mom was like a
yeah, same
prostitute,
Yeah,
mom.
yeah,
or
yeah,
like not a prostitute, but like a nicer version of that.
a
Well,
courtesan.
probably not a
Courtesan.
nicer version of that.
I mean, true. I don't know. They had a
It's
fancier name for it.
I think it was
oh
just
yeah, I guess
courtesan,
I
right?
Courtesan, yeah.
yeah, I think so
Cortesian.
too.
Courtesan,
Cortesian.
courtesian. I don't know
Was
how to
that how you?
pronounce
Oh
it.
shit! I've always
How
said
do you
courtesan.
Yeah,
pronounce that? I always say
Yeah,
courtesan too.
Cortesian.
I say courtesan, but I don't know.
That
Yeah.
that
When I say
sounds
it
like
out
the
loud
Star Wars
now,
planet Corsican,
uh,
Corsican, Coruscant. Peter says
Coruscant.
Peter says Coruscant. Yeah,
Coruscant.
Peter's in the back.
Coruscant, the world.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it
Although I
sounds like
guess
that.
that does make sense because she would have had to have been
ah,
a
it's
noble person
according
for
to
Vin to have
Google, it's
powers. So.
courtesan.
Mm.
So Miana was right.
Ooh, courtesan.
Oh,
Peter says Coruscant.
well,
That's this planet though.
sorry. I
Yeah, it
don't
was
believe
cool.
that. I don't believe in that.
But I'm sure
Um,
it's also
yeah.
like, I think it's a French word. So I don't know
Mhm.
how to say it in French, but
So it's
Makes sense.
courtesan?
courtesan is what Google
Co-
told me.
Courtesan.
okay. All
So
Yeah,
right.
she's fine.
American.
You leave her.
So that's what Vin's mom is.
And then her mom died,
Um,
or her mom just like left them.
That
I
makes
forget.
sense.
I should have maybe wrote this down because I forgot.
Oh
I need to
wait,
I
start
think
this.
The American pronunciation is what? That is
What?
insane.
Gooner?
Courtesan?
no.
What?
No, that's wrong.
No.
Incorrect.
Maybe
okay.
if you're from like Georgia, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, what
Oh,
American
all the
is saying
same.
it like that? Okay, I'm gonna stop looking at this. It's bothering me now.
The pronunciation is what's getting to us.
Hello, Pete.
Hello.
Pete in the chat.
But yeah, chapter 1, we learn about Reen, Kamen, her like, what do they call them? The crew boss
Crew
or
leader.
whatever? Crew leader. And man, hard life. Her crew leader is a piece of shit. Everyone
they
is a
tend
piece
to
of
be.
shit.
Everyone's kind of a piece of shit.
Is this the chapter where he beats her up? No, right?
Not
No,
No, that's when
yet.
Kelsier walks in. That's when she gets beat up.
Yeah.
But
So I guess we can go to chapter 2 because
Mhm.
actually chapter 1 was kind of short, right?
Yeah, chapter 1's pretty short.
I had no notes for
Chapter
chapter
2,
1. I was still
is
absorbing.
I think when they start their plan to go to the obligators, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, it's Kelsier talking to Dachshund about,
Oh,
and we
yes.
find out that he's just come back from somewhere. He's been away.
Yeah. What?
And that trusting basically like
And that they're
Doc
planning
finds
something.
out that Kelsier killed Trusting.
Mhm.
Which honestly he
Ballsy
deserved,
move.
but whatever.
I thought the way he just strolled up to the
and-
village of Ska that was funny. I know this is still the prologue, but I was just like, I honestly was like, who is this guy? Because like obviously we're getting introduced to him. He's just eating food and like chilling,
He,
and everyone
he
else
kind of
is
gives
like
me Naruto vibes.
torn. Yeah, and he smiles
What?
a lot.
You say Naruto vibes?
Like older Naruto,
the
like
character?
Kokage Naruto.
Is that what
Oh, I wouldn't
Naruto is
know.
like?
I was gonna say he gives Gojo vibes, but
I don't think
Yeah,
he's
he gives more
yeah,
Gojo,
okay, yeah.
like a
Maybe
little, like
happy-go-lucky.
like whenever I see his name on the page, I imagine him all the time with a shit-eating grin, like
He's also
Gojo.
like
yeah.
mid-30s, right? So he's like older than Gojo. Gojo's
Yeah.
like
That's what I'm
27.
saying.
But
For
he's
example,
like a
Kage
silly little
Naruto.
guy, but also like the most powerful guy.
But also like
You
he
know?
cannot be killed.
Yeah. So far. Don't jinx him.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
cool.
but I guess before we mention going to the obligators, like for people who don't, like the obligators are basically magic cops.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
with
It's like-
with sick ass face tattoos.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture them.
Yeah.
I
Yo, and
pictured
did
them
you-
like
Yeah, fan
soulless
drawing,
with a
yeah.
bunch of tattoos for some reason.
Yeah, me too. And then the Steel Inquisitors, the first time I like read it, I'm like, whoa,
Oh.
what the fuck?
Oh yeah, dude. In my head, they look crazy. Actually, I'm gonna look up fan
They-
art now.
No, they look crazy. They have
mean, they-
giant nails
through
through
the
their
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah, no,
that's
that was
metal as
crazy.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So wait,
my-
are they still human though?
My vision is so much worse
Yeah.
than these fan art.
Oh, you're looking up a fan art of it? Wait, so are they still human though with the steel through their eyes or?
Yeah, they're supposed to be
Yeah.
human. Yeah.
Oh god, why
And,
do they
like,
have
the people
nails?
talk about them as if they are not.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
Like
but
the
I think
general
I
populace.
think they at least were human. It's questionable if they are human because you do have metal nails in your eyes.
So do they get the metal
Yeah.
nails after they become an inquisitor or
I don't think anyone knows fully how they're
Where they-
made
where
they're
or
born.
how they turn into them. At least not yet that we know of.
It's funny because they're called
Yeah.
Steel Inquisitors, and I was like, oh, this sounds just like the Steel Watch from Baldur's Gate.
When they said they had like
yeah.
metal rods in their like nails in their head, I was picturing they also look super grotesque and big, but they kind of just look like
Normal people
dudes
with nails in their eyes. That's
with
crazy.
huge
Yeah.
nails in their eyes.
Just
Yeah.
instead of eyes, imagine nails. Like the
What?
the
Like a
the,
big
the top
spike.
of the nail.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
A big spike, yeah.
Why are
That's
some of these
literally,
some of this fan art looks like Vin Diesel?
Because they're bald.
I mean,
So they're swole
Honestly,
as
I
fuck,
did.
man.
They're
I did
swole
picture
and
them.
bald. Okay,
kinda
I guess
bald.
that's why it looks
Yeah.
like Vin Diesel.
Yo, can we cast Vin Diesel as Steel
Yo.
Inquisitor?
As a Steel Inquisitor.
when we write this movie, that's
Yeah.
who we're casting.
You know how people do like fan casts all the time. That was like an old
Yeah,
old
yeah.
internet thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alright, what else?
But they do. When I read that, it reminded me of these. I don't know if it will relate at any point in time, but all the like symbols that are around, like at the beginning of each chapter, and they're like on the map. They are the compass points. These symbols of like 3/4 of a circle with like some
Lines,
stuff
yeah.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of like what they're I was like, "Oh, is it that?" Because the one that's, like, on the cover and the, like, main symbol of the book is, like, a
Oh,
circle with these, like,
does it look like
nail-looking
spikes
things
in your
pierced, like,
eyes?
partway through it. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, it kind of
Interesting.
looks like
That's a good
those
observation.
dudes." So I don't know if that has any relation at some point. I also am interested to see if those symbols come up with meaning at any point because there's, like, a different one at the beginning of each chapter.
Or sometimes there's more than
It's not
one.
always the same. Yeah, and I'm like, are they numbers? Are they counting? Or is there, like, meaning to them? Obviously, some of them are the points of the compass, but
Hmm.
I just thought that
I
was interesting. I like that little fantasy stuff that you're
Yep.
like, "Ooh, they have
I don't
a
know if
little
I'm
language."
misremembering, but they might signify metals, maybe?
Mm,
Oh,
that
like
would make
a
sense.
like an alchemy symbol for like the metal or something.
Yeah, if there's
Yeah.
They are pretty
1, 2,
metal
3,
as
4, 5,
fuck.
there are 10 of them in the surrounding the title on the title page.
That's a good
Oh, then that
observation.
would
Oh,
count as
there's,
a
like,
metal
10 and then
too.
the secret 11th medal.
Secret 11 thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, the secret 11th hidden power.
That's always that's a fantasy trope for sure. They're like, oh, like you
Mhm.
thought there were only this. There's actually one other bigger, greater superpower that no one has
Oh,
ever
yeah.
wielded in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I
Can't wait till somebody wields it.
eat it up every
Yeah,
single
he
time.
ate and left no crumbs.
It never gets old.
Yeah, actually,
Alright, so
That's
then
the first note I
oh
had
yeah,
actually for the whole thing was like, Kelsier just eats metal. Like the way the author just described it nonchalantly, I was like, wait, he's just like eating it.
he's just
Anyway,
chewing on a
Yeah.
yeah.
bar of copper.
Yeah.
But for chapter 2, I said Luthadel sounds like Manhattan, densely packed, dark, and if you're lucky to live in a very tall building, that means you're extremely rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair assessment. And then you have
Smog.
to I've just a thought about like also like the logistics of walking around in ash. Like it's kind of
Yeah,
like
sucks.
always snowing,
Oh yeah, but
but it's
But
disgusting.
instead of
gross.
smelling and like ash everywhere, it's piss in New York.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exact-
yeah.
Just
At
ash
least it
everywhere.
doesn't fall from the
So
sky.
Oh
so that
god.
makes me wonder just how people like how the nobles keep themselves so clean. Do they just walk around with parasols?
I think so,
Yeah, they
yeah.
think they mentioned that.
Yeah,
He has like an
and
umbrella
Yeah.
they have slaves to
to
clean
brush away all the
stuff.
ash.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. But what else?
Damn, their air quality
Uh,
index must be off the charts.
yeah, can you imagine those
Yeah.
lungs?
Yeah, I don't know how
We're
anyone's
all
living
over the
that
place.
long.
Yeah, magic.
Right, I had nothing for chapter 3, so feel free to, I guess, cover the
I mean,
the
chapter
holes.
2, was like they went to do their plan. They went to the obligators, and she used her luck on an obligator like a dumbass. I mean, she didn't know,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
like, I was like, bro, how are they all so stupid to think this would work? Yeah, I didn't even know that
Yeah.
it like they were immune to it, but a party was like, come on.
Yeah,
Well, when the
and
like,
then
go ahead.
I guess Vin didn't know that it's Alamancy, so she wouldn't have connected the dots. But like,
but she had a feeling like she had done fucked up.
yeah. She was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
She was like, this didn't
Well,
feel right when she used her luck.
and when the like guy came out that was not the guy they were supposed to be meeting with, it was like the big boss. I was like, yeah, obviously, like just for anything for these thieves, they should know that that's not like obviously something's fucked up and they gotta get out of there. Like you can't just proceed with that. Something is obviously wrong.
Yeah, the plan
These
has
thieves are not very good.
has seemed very wrong from the beginning, and I was like, y'all gotta just like cut tails real quick.
Yeah, Cameron is
Yeah.
an idiot and just keeps dragging his crew through idiocy. But then
Yeah.
in chapter 3, well, is it in
I
chapter
mean,
3 that he fucks him in the ass?
chapter 3, her brother proved her right. We left that bitch told on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
she thought that was a friend.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
that
Yeah.
was fucked up.
yo, I would have been on his ass ASAP.
Does he
But she
like
was
I
like,
remember
betrayal is part of life.
I know, she's so
yeah.
emo.
She expected it
She's
on some
very
level.
depressed.
So
I also would be depressed if my brother beat me up and then everybody else beat me up too.
I will say
yeah,
it's her
yeah.
brother is like, this is for you. I'm just teaching you about the world, and beats her up. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Damn. But then is this the chapter where Kelsier interrupts? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he saves her,
Mhm.
and fucks Cameron off.
Mhm.
Did they killed him?
Right.
Killed him, right? How I forget how though.
I think the
No.
crew kills them.
No, I think it's implied that that like dude who like was sucking up to Kelsier so much, like when he told him to like take him away, would probably kill him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he killed him. But we
And
don't.
also,
It's just off screened.
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, and we learn Kelsier has a like a name that people know him by, the survivor of Hathsin,
Hathsin.
Hathsin.
I was like,
which is
oh,
a
first I read that,
cool
I was
ass
like,
name.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Hathsin.
like I'll give it to Brandon
Very on the
Sanderson. He
nose.
comes up with cool ass names for
And
like.
it's metal as fuck
Hathsin.
that like his arms are just covered in scars. Like this dude
Mhm.
is cool as shit.
From what? Someday I hope we're gonna find out what that's from.
And he had a wife that was there with him, apparently,
Oh
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some drama.
And
cute.
some kind of betrayal occurred. She
And
betrayed
betray-
him in some way.
I'm not gonna say anything because I think I know who it was.
Ooh.
Mm.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. I don't. There's so much of this. It's been so long since I read this book that a lot of them like reading the. Was that one?
You cut out for a
Yes,
bit.
there's betrayal. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I was like, so I'll refrain from speaking on things that I think I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kelsier explains to Vin that she's an allomancer, and specifically
Mistborn.
A
a
Mistborn, yeah.
Mistborn.
Whispers.
Ooh.
And he does exactly that sound effect when he goes to her. Oh, did you know
No,
Yeah.
you're a
no,
Mistborn?
it's Dachshund and Mistborn, Mistborn,
Ooh.
Mistborn.
They're chanting.
Um, but I thought it's pretty cool. Like you can either do one or you can do them all. It's like
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's cool that like it's not like you can just kind of learn multiple. It's like it's one or all of them.
She's
And
special.
we also learn that Vin is a like half blood like Ska, like she's half noble, and so is Kelsier.
Yes.
and which means that it actually. And I think that's why prologue trusting always kills the ska women that he rapes.
Yeah,
To
because it's
avoid.
Yeah.
illegal to have half-blooded children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then.
And we also learned that allomancy is a power that's specifically for the nobility. And that the
Yeah.
like lore in the world is that the Lord Ruler granted it to them for loyalty in their previous
And
war or
actually, I don't.
whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think they mentioned it here, but I mean, it's still kind of in the same realm. Like that, the Mistborn, it's like the truly loyal nobles only were the only ones who got that ability. They didn't mention it this early, but I mean, it's still in line with
Super
the
special.
yeah. And we
Makes
learned
sense.
about
Yeah.
like the 8 types of. There's like 8 types or whatever, or 10. What was it again? 8
types of
types of
There's-
allomancy.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
10 and the secret 11th.
10 and Secret 11th, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like
But
the 8.
there's only,
There's
like-
8 basic ones, is what it was.
Yeah.
8 normal used ones.
Yeah, and each one there's like one power, but there's a push and pull version of it.
That's cool. I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, I liked
like
that whole magic explanation section
And
later on.
Roger, you
Oh,
crapped
the
out of it. I can hear
oh
you now.
the consequence and of every action. I love that shit. Because like I'm like a Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, equivalent exchange in this vid.
Equivalent exchange.
And I will say, the name for the people who can only use one, not as cool as Mistborn. Just calling them Mistings, that's a weak name.
Misting. They're like little babies.
Yeah, they're weak
They're
as fuck.
mist
They're not
Yeah.
born.
He's just a little misting. He's just a sweet little misting.
Yeah, he's of the mist, but he's
Little
not born
misty
from the
guy.
mist.
Born in the mist.
Yeah, he's
Molded
a-
by the mist. But
What was the name of the?
then
Well, I think I'm getting ahead. What's the name of that like Miss Monster that they eventually see?
The Mist Wraith,
Miss
I think.
Miss Wraith. Okay, yeah, because that's what
Yeah.
everyone's afraid of.
I
right?
love anything that is a wraith.
A
Like
wraith,
the ring
yeah.
wraiths from Lord of the Rings. It's just such a
yeah,
good word
the
for
name,
things.
the name Wraith is just like
Yeah.
chef's kiss,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
add something in front of it, and it's just
Uh-huh.
ooh,
Do you make
ooh.
it
Add
one
an
word together?
adjective.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love me a sad evil ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
just
they
like me for
describe the
A
real.
hungry ghost.
yeah. Then they describe the mysteries. I'm like, oh,
Oh
but
yeah, I
then
was
in
not
my head,
expecting them to be
yes.
as gross as
Yeah,
they
like an
were.
amalgamation of
Uh-huh.
parts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just like so they must be so lumpy, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
Yes.
someone
That's how
can
I
like
imagine them.
kawaii-fy them. I'm sure. They're like, oh, they're just a little, they move a little slow and they eat things at the time.
If they eat bunnies, I could like see them being cute.
Yeah.
They only eat bunnies.
But don't
Bunnies.
they just actually? Well, they get humans that are dead, so they basically eat
Yeah.
corpses. But I guess they could kind of eat live animals if the animals don't run away quick enough. I forget
guess
how it
so.
I mean
works.
that's the animal's fault at that point because the way
Yeah.
they describe them, they don't move fast at all.
Yeah. They're kind of like
Shamble.
they're yeah. But
But I
I'm actually
think
not
that was chapter 3, right? And then chapter
Mhm.
4, or like Kelsey explains everything to Vin, and she's now the what did they call it? Like the connection between like a powered crew and a non-powered crew or whatever.
The Twixt.
The Twixt, yeah, and now she's the Twixt, or they all assume she's the Twixt.
Like a Twix
And
bar. Man, I should have
Yeah.
made the stream that, but I forgot she was called a Twix.
And chapter
I-
4 is we meet the fucking crew, which I love
Yeah, I love crew.
immediately.
I love
Every
crew
single person in
introductions.
that crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love me a crew introduction.
Breeze's
Uh,
introduction was amazing.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, I love Breeze so much. He's so he's such like a little piece of shit. I love it.
He's got the swagger, you know. Oh, can you
Yeah.
pour me a glass of wine? And Vin's like, yeah, of course I'd love to pour you a glass of wine.
Yeah. And then Vin was like mid pour, and Hammond was like, "Breeze, stop that!" And she's like, "Wait, why am I pouring this glass of wine?" And she's like, "You bitch!"
And she's like, hey, I don't want to do this. I love Ham. I
Oh,
love
Hammond!
Ham.
I
a
love
big
Ham.
buff muscle man who wants to like ponder philosophical questions and like
Yeah.
nobody else has time for his shit. Like
Yeah.
that
He's
was
the
a really
opposite of a
great
himbo. He's like a
trope.
smart
Yeah,
himbo.
himbo.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then there's
Born. What was it? Born. Well, no. Fuck. Never mind. I forgot the saying.
Born to philosophize, forced to
Oh yeah.
punch.
Forced to punch.
Yeah.
But in my head,
But-
he's such like a big, strong dude. But he's always just like so, like it's a
He's like the
philosopher.
uncle
What
of like the
is
group.
the meaning of life?
Yeah.
he's Kronk, but if Kronk were smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what is choice, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
This
Breeze is
world.
always
Yeah.
like, Ham, we don't have time for this
Shut
shit.
up.
Shut up.
And then the what was the name of the smoker?
Clubs. I like
Clubs.
clubs.
Yeah.
I like clubs too. He's
Yeah.
I sort of imagine him as like Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter.
I think
You know, like
similar
an old,
similar
like
vibes.
weird
Yeah.
guy with like a cane and one eye for some reason to me. I don't think that's true, but
Your
I
head
have
canon.
trouble
He has one
visualizing
eye.
them all.
yeah.
But
How do you
also
describe them?
for
Gnarled,
remember
knotted
the-
and gnarled like a tree.
yeah.
Gnarled like a tree. Oh, that's gnarly.
But also, when they described Ham like as a thug and like his powers, my brain immediately went for my Hunter fans. I'm like, oh, he has enhancement then.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like similar, right? These.
And then we have what's the name of the ska rebellion
Yeah,
leader?
Yeden?
Yeden.
Oh, Yeden. Yeah.
Yeden.
He's the normal working man. Pulled himself up from his bootstrap.
Yep.
The grumpy
He's like, y'all
guy.
crazy, but I'm paying you. So
Running a rebellion. not into their magic shit, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
But he
gotta
needs
do what
it.
you gotta do. But I do
yeah.
love that it's both a rebellion, which I expected because of the title, and it's a fucking heist. I love me a
Yes,
heist.
same.
I didn't expect it to be a heist story because I didn't really
Neither did
read
I.
the synopsis.
Yeah,
Love me a good
I
heist.
assumed it was.
It's
I just.
Wow.
wait, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I forgot. Keep going. I got distracted.
No, it's a good heist story. And the most of like I think most of it is heist too, because like it gives him a year.
Yeah, and like the way they
Mhm.
like I don't want to get too far ahead, but the way they describe the planning is very like heist movie.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Kayla
It's
says
giving
we all have
ocean.
lovely voices, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
This is not after karaoke. I was not doing well.
Oh
My voice
lord.
was
We're all scratchy.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I had
dude.
to give Malia like a throat lozenge. She lost her voice.
It always happens. But what was I? So we meet the crew. We meet the. Did we say everybody of the crew? Like there was the smoker. There's Ham. There's
There's Kelsey's
Um,
brother, but I don't think he was introduced in this chapter, but we can still talk about
yeah.
him.
yeah. There's Marsh, which looks like Kelsier, but just like a little bit more square jaw.
And grumpier.
Is that what? Grumpier, so like blonde, blue eyed, I
He's
guess.
Kelsier if he didn't look like a piece of shit.
Mm,
If he was like
Um,
actually serious.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
will say the vibes they have, like I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but like I was like, oh, it's Gojo and Nanami.
oh god.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they were
Tired old
brothers.
man.
Tired old, I mean tired man and just like annoying piece of shit, but we love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with the
Is
secret dark
vibe.
side.
With
Because
Secret Dark
Kelsier
Side,
is
yeah.
angry. He's an angry
Angry.
man. And we see it in the wait, okay, going like chronologically, chapter. What else happens in this chapter?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of
Um,
introducing us with the crew. They also explain like the
sort of
different
overview of the
allomancies
plan.
and like what they mean. You know, like soothing is like and like rioting. Uh, thugs are people who have the physical enhancements.
hmm
Like I think it was a lot of just like introductions and also just more explanations on the magic system.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
they introduce also sort of the heist plan as well, and we learn that we learn about the secret 11th, well, not, I don't know, remember if this is secret 11th metal or just one of the 9 or 10 metals that are more powerful, but that they want to steal the
That
ATM.
yeah,
Oh,
I think
ATM,
ATM is the
yes.
10th medal, I think.
Yeah,
That no one really knows how to use apparently, except for like a very select few.
yeah, but it's also like all has some kind of like monetary value in this world. It seems like that's how it like
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
control
Lord Ruler is like
currency.
hoarding it. It's like a fiat currency.
Hmm.
yeah, I kind of I don't think they've explained what ATM does because I guess only a
Hmm.
Mistborn can burn it. Um,
I would assume, yeah, based on the way they talk about
Possibly.
it, probably.
yeah. So
Yeah.
not I don't think there's an ATM misting that we would know of.
Mm.
Yeah, at least not what we know so far. And we also
Yeah.
learned that Kel's ultimate plan, if he can, is to kill the Lord and Ruler.
Yeah, because
Hell yeah.
they have
He's
a
gonna
settled
kill
bet.
God.
Time to kill God.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's you know, wife die like because of the wife dying at Hathsin. He's like, it's over. I gotta kill everyone. He's about to go Itachi on him.
Yeah, no, he kind of
Yeah,
does
you
in when
do.
he goes to what manor does he go to in chapter was it 5 or
Yeah,
4?
I don't remember. Something with like a V, I think.
The one he's
But yeah, he goes to steal some ATM, right? Does he need it or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
And that fight scene was so cool with the
Mhm.
pushing and pulling of the metal bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was and that's where like all the powers really come and shine and the why Mistborns are so terrifying.
Yeah. And like I remember when they when he was doing that, and they explained like there's like people who are built to or like trained to fight Mistborn. I'm like, bro, they're getting annihilated. Are you sure they're trained for this?
I think they were just ska though,
Yeah.
right?
But there's like special like knights or like guards that are specifically made, like they only have wooden stuff, like they're made to fight them.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
a part of me was like, they're getting decimated.
You're like, I don't know if this is a good example of guards.
Yeah. But it's still a thing where like they're just like regular Alamancers, right? Like they only have the one power versus
Yeah.
like Kel having all of them. It's like to an extent it's really hard. You're not going to be able
Yeah,
to
he's
do
very
that. Also, like they
OP.
don't have to fight Mistborns often. Surely, like
Yeah,
there's
'cause,
not. They're
almost
quite
all
rare even amongst nobility.
Yeah, and like nobility aren't really sending them to fight each other all the time. Like, so they probably don't have that much practice with them.
I think they are actually. They mentioned later that they're like assassins and stuff for the house rivalries.
That's
And
true.
it's sort of like under,
But I think
under
they
the cover. But
I thought they said like the shit that they do, like it's like currently at like a time of peace, but it's bubbling over. So I think it's been a while since Mistborn were probably like sent to fuck each other up.
yeah,
Would explain why they were completely decimated by kills here. Since when
Mhm.
was the last
Yeah.
time they probably fought? And
The way they
Mistborn.
described that metal bar just hitting people in the head
Yo.
sounded terrifying.
Was
Yeah.
it a bar or an ingot? Because like
Isn't
Like an
it not a
ingot.
bar?
It is
Yeah, like a bar of metal.
isn't it?
Like a metal bar.
oh,
yeah,
when you
not,
meant a bar, I thought a rod.
not a
Okay.
rod.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I meant ingot. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine it like the shape of a bar of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's what they
But I
always
could-
had in RuneScape. When
It
you had
reminds
made
me
it
when
into
like
ingots.
when Katara just
Yeah.
has like water on her and she's just using it to like sling around. It's like Kelsey just like
Yeah.
keeps metal
Yeah.
on him and just like
Coins.
swings it around. Yeah.
Yo, stay strapped. Stay strapped.
Yeah.
Gotta
yeah,
have
that scene-
pennies.
Was cool as fuck.
Yeah, speaking
And
of the
but then I
pennies-
didn't.
I was gonna say they always
Yeah.
lose money every time they need to travel. I was like, I wonder if they have to budget that.
I imagine like they go more by weight, so I would choose like because like once you push the coin all the way to the end, I imagine the lighter the coin, the more force you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because
know.
I
pushing
would
against
ch-
it is easier.
So they're probably only doing like what would be like a penny equivalent in our world.
Yeah, I think they mentioned
Yeah.
at some point that they use it's like the lowest value coin. Probably also because
that
it's like
makes-
somewhat expendable, and they use it as like a weapon and all kinds of stuff. But
I wonder if they've ever like tracked a Mistborn from just like random coin droppings, though. You know, if you know that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
using coins.
It's like the tell. Like if you find a random coin around, you're like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the breadcrumbs.
yeah. A Mistborn was here.
Story. Yeah.
All right, what else? What else? Oh yeah, I gotta leave in like half an
Alright.
hour because I got a concert to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. All right. In the next chapter, they introduce the Mistborn cloak, which is so dramatic.
Ooh. I like how the this book cover shows it too, because it's just how I imagined it. It's just like a bunch of streamers.
See, my
Mhm.
brain, I didn't know what it looked like, but when the way they described it, I was like, are they just wearing like a ghillie suit around the city?
What's a ghillie suit?
It's what like
I'm gonna Google
snipers
this.
in the military wear.
Ghillie suit.
almost
Oh, like the camo, like that you look like the little
Yeah.
monster guy.
Where it's
Ghillie
like you
suit.
look
The
like
one that
covered
it looks
in
like they're
like a
yeah,
bush.
covered in
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
you
is
look
what
like a
I
little
was
swamp
picturing. This
monster.
is what I was picturing, and I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Wait, I gotta look this up. How do you
The
spell it?
streamers are a little too small.
GHILLIE.
Yeah, you look like
I
you
did
look
not
like
know how to spell
Bigfoot.
Ghillie
that.
suit.
You look like a swamp.
Bro.
Yeah, a swamp
It's like
monster.
the way they described it. That's why I was like, that's fucking crazy that they're running around the city in this, and then I just looked up what
No wonder
what it
people are
should look like.
terrorized of Mistborns.
But can you imagine someone rocks up on you from the shadows in that? That'd be
In a ghillie suit.
terrifying.
I'd be like, oh
They're
shit,
just like
they're going
a
point blank.
cartoon who like wears a bush and crouches
Yeah.
around.
Okay, I didn't think it was it's not green and bushy. I thought it was the vibe
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Like it's like that, but
Yes.
with a bunch of gray
But they
like
said it was like a
streamers everywhere.
cloak, so it's obviously like a cape-ish. It's
Yeah.
not. They're not
See,
wearing pants.
You just went all the way to suit.
I think I completely didn't read the cloak part. So when they were explaining what it looked like in my head, I'm like, they're just running through the city in a gray ghillie.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I also
Oh my
like
God.
immediately realized it was the thing on the cover, so like I had a visual
Yeah.
for it
Mhm.
immediately upon reading it. But if you're reading it digitally,
I will
you
say,
didn't
I think I
remember the
like
cover.
my idea more than they're rocking around a city in a ghillie
I'll
It's a little
city.
whimsy.
I'll take your head cannon. They're
Mhm.
just rocking around in like bushes.
Hey,
Bush
it's
shoots.
gray. It's not a bush.
A
So just like
bush
a.
gilly.
You'll look like a mop then.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, get the Mistborn cloak. It looks cool as fuck.
Mhm.
And then,
Then
wait, is this where he
Kelsier does
takes?
some magical Spider-Man action where
Mhm.
he's
It's
web
like we're really
slinging through the
web
city.
slinging. It feels like I'm really
Yeah,
Spider-Man
With the swagger of a whatever.
of a young
of a
Allomancer teen.
Mistborn,
Yeah, of a young
of a Mistborn,
white
the Miles
Mistborn.
Morales.
She's like
And
16,
then
14, 14, right?
I think
Then
she's like in the early teens. I
Yeah,
keep
she's in her
forgetting what.
teens, but
it's
I
like
don't know exactly.
14.
Yeah, I want to say 14 to 16.
Man,
16, I think
all
it
these
is.
kids
Children
just gotta dethrone evil rulers all the time in
Yeah.
fantasy.
with the
Yeah,
help of
More
their
yes,
like
you just
found
paladins.
want to do,
father.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't you want to overthrow the empire when you were a teenager too?
Of
Mhm.
course, of course.
Yeah, I still do.
That is prime time, I think, to overthrow an empire. You
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
you
the
give
rage
no
and the
fucks.
energy. Yeah. There's no
Um,
consequences yet because you're not an
you
adult.
haven't developed your brain yet.
Yeah. Your
Um,
prefrontal cortex is still mushy.
That's literally one of the excuses my little sister would tell my mom when she was being irrational. She was like, "You can't be mad at me. My prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That's such a dirty thing to say to excuse teenage rebellion.
But anyway, we have a cool ass scene with Kelsier taking
But
on an entire keep.
kicks
Which
ass.
is
It just gives
shit.
everyone blunt force head trauma the entire
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, if not straight up death.
It's not straight up death,
Then
yeah.
Mhm.
Venture. That's who he. That's what the keep
Oh,
he.
House Venture, yeah.
Yeah,
House
Venture.
Venture. Um.
I did write a note after like the end of this chapter that I really liked the way that we got like a full blow by blow description of the fight and like what he's doing with all of the allomancies. I feel like it
Mhm.
is a really good way to introduce the powers in like a practical context, and like it was repeated enough throughout the chapter that I'm like, oh, those powers at least, like I'm not going to forget the mechanics of that now for the rest of
Yeah.
the book because it was really like drilled in here, but in a way that didn't feel like too repetitive because you're like in a fight, so it was interesting, but I thought it was a really effective way
That's
to
some
like
good writing.
Yeah. And
lay out the rules
even
really
before the
well.
fight, like they even like get to use like the tin to explain that it enhances your senses because he
Yeah.
needs to sneak into the palace, and like
Yeah,
pewter to help him
and
jump, and like it like everything was so like detailed that I'm like, okay, now I know how everything
yeah.
works.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
get
I
like a
remember
good
having.
overview of how the powers work together and like why it's such an advantage to be a Mistborn to have all of these abilities.
Because imagine if you can only steel push or you can only iron pull, then you're really limited.
Yeah.
In not only your weight, but the weight of the item you have. But if you can do both, then it doesn't matter. If it's heavier than you, you'll do the one that whatever action you want, and if it's lighter
Mhm.
than you, you do the other one. Like,
Yeah, and the way he
um,
was like using the bar where he'd push it past them and then pull it back immediately to
Yeah.
hit them in the
yeah.
back of the head, like that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
So
You can combo them.
overall, a lot of cool powers from Allomancy.
Yes. I still need to know about the two
The secret
like
ones.
non-basic powers.
Yeah.
I forgot them, I think. So I don't remember. Because
I
even
mean,
even Vin, oh,
that's good that you don't remember. Then you get to find out all over again.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm excited because there's a lot in the book that I actually forgot. Um, and then there's what else? We get. I just didn't understand the part how he left with the safe,
I think he was
and
like dragging it almost.
he
Oh
dragged
no,
it, and then he
did
like
he leave with
kicked
the
it.
safe? I thought he just took the ingot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he broke the safe
Yeah, he
open.
broke it.
Yeah.
By
When he was like falling down and he pulled on the safe so that it slowed his fall, and the
Yeah.
safe eventually falls and cracks open. He
Yeah,
just
I
takes
think
the
he did that
80.
on purpose. He wanted to crack the safe open because he knew he wasn't gonna like break into it
Oh,
with his arms.
so while he was falling,
Yeah, he fell
he
on top of
was
the safe and crushed it.
Yeah. No, 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 no,
Or
no, no.
he
I don't
like
think he
he
crushed it.
basically
No, no, no.
like grappling hooked
He
it.
yeah, he
Yeah.
grappling like he was pulling on the safe as he's falling down so that it like was like slowing his fall while
slowing
also
his
going over
fall.
the edge. And
Yeah.
then
Okay, so he was
and then he
Pulls
pulling
kept
the
on
and then
safe
he
it.
over the
kept
edge.
pulling it so that it falls over, and then when it hits the ground it shatters open.
I see. Oh,
smart
and then
man.
he pushed right before he fell so that he wouldn't like just
Splat,
dump on the
yeah.
ground. Flat.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. That's
It,
pretty cool.
it's giving very Spider-Man Assassin's Creed vibes of him just kind of like
Yeah.
tearing up
Yeah.
everyone, sneaking in. I really love the vibes already from that part.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
exit when he like swan dives through the open shattered window, like turns in midair and shoots
Oh
his
yeah,
web
dude.
back to the safe to pull it over.
Fucking cool.
Mhm.
He fucking does
Very cool.
a leap of faith
And it's
out
very
that
like
window.
heist
Oh,
Damn.
spy. Yeah.
He got the balls.
and then we
He
go.
do, he do.
He steals the item, and we go back to Vin, and her being super paranoid and sad because of her life.
I
Yeah.
feel bad for this girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
I,
has a hard knock life.
And we see that
and then
Ham
She
is
has
just
her own
he's just a
room.
big nice guy. You
Yeah,
know, he's
him's a cool dude. I like him.
Yeah.
I like Ham and Breeze. They're my and clubs is
Clubs.
endearing.
Bubs is like
Mhm.
actually the grumpy old man. Like
Yeah.
he's just tired of everything.
And he gives them a nice inn. Like I think this is the nicest lodging situation Vin has ever had.
Yeah, actual
Totally.
rooms.
Yeah, and she
She
has
has
like
a
like
room
a
at
bed,
all.
and she has like a
Yeah,
actual bed, and like doesn't have to just sleep on the ground or whatever.
Yeah.
And she
There's
took a
like a line
bath.
at the beginning of this chapter that she's like, she had always been forced to fight for privacy. Being given it so easily seemed to devalue the years she had spent relishing her brief moments of solitude.
Aw.
She like has her own room. I was like, wow, that's
Bro,
damn.
she's giving me Sakura vibes. Like I feel bad for her every time they mention anything about her past.
Mm.
That sucks, man. But the next
yeah. And
chapter.
the crew all shows up and they go through the
Plan.
with their whiteboard.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
The
whiteboard.
chalk.
They're
Or the
flow
chalkboard, I
charting.
guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like
And
the
then
little
everybody
brainstorming
gets
sesh.
inside.
And Kelsey is
Then
insane. And when they talk about the noble in their plans, and he killed and replaced him or whatever.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to know what's
And
like what they
in
did with that guy and how he
right? Because
can
they were like, you
imposter
don't
him.
want to know what he did. I'm like, I do, please.
Yo,
What
I
if like he's
do.
like what if he's like this is
Yo.
like crazy, but I thought this, I'm like, what if they just like possessed his body and it's like it's his body, but like it's not him
Oh.
in his brain. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
But I don't think that
I
the story
remember
is
this
going
one.
that way. but
I'll
Yeah.
refrain.
keep my mouth shut.
No, but we
Yeah.
find out in this book, Andrea.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's something they've been hinting at. I'm like, I really want to know what makes this imposter like slightly not perfect, and also like what
Yeah,
to
like
do with the
why
guy.
he can't like go to actual noble events because something's off about him.
hmm
Yeah. I
But
wonder, or
mhm.
like my theory is that it's one of those, maybe the 9th or 10th metal that we don't know about yet. That
Mm.
you can do like some kind of impersonation thing because an inquisitor, right, would know if you're using allomancy.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
maybe.
Go. And like when they're talking about it, it's the line says, "Ah," Breeze said, exchanging a glance with Ham. One of those. Well then, so like
Hmm.
as if a person is that like type maybe of Allomancer
Ah.
is my
Yeah,
theory,
you.
but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Andrea's
I'll keep
trying not to
Yeah.
quiet.
No.
spoil
Nope.
us.
Don't spoil. No spoilers.
I'll just stay quiet until we move on to the next.
Yeah. No, I think
Uh,
I was gonna say something else about the plan. Oh, the part where they have Vin now going to, I guess, impersonate the. Is it Renault? Is that how you pronounce the guy's name? Lord Renault.
Mhm.
She's gonna be like his
Renault.
niece or
Renault,
something.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
giving me like was it
Yeah.
Princess Diaries? Was it Princess Diaries? Yeah, Princess Diaries vibes. Where they're like
Yeah.
making her
Yeah.
over.
I can't wait for the makeover scene.
Yeah,
I gotta
I'm
rewatch
looking
that
forward
movie
to that.
actually after this.
And this has nothing to do with the story, but I was like laughing at the Eastern street slang or whatever. I was like, they're like
Oh,
little
that other
Victorian
Yeah.
teenager. Yeah,
orphans.
yeah. I wasn't sure what kind of accent he was supposed to
How did
speak
you?
in.
Yeah. How did you like imagine that accent? Because I almost imagined it like Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars.
Oh my
What?
god.
What?
Same.
No,
Wait,
not
no.
y'all.
It's hard to read
Oh.
that kid's dialogue because it is supposed to be like in some dialect, and I'm reading it as if I'm kind of giving him like a Cockney accent, but the words are just not making sense to me either. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
like
I haven't
the
figured it out
accent
yet.
was Cockney in my head, like those like poor Victorian orphans in those in like movies and stuff like that.
Oh.
But like
Yeah.
saying
In
some weird shit.
Yeah, his
In
in
choice
my
my
of
brain,
brain,
words
it
it
is
was
was
like
odd.
that.
Eastern European accent.
Oh, I
Is
guess
it?
that's
No,
true
I
because
was.
they did say Eastern Street
In
slang.
my, well, but it's like Eastern of this world is not
Oh, you're
at
right.
all related. But I think I took that.
Jar Jar Binks is hilarious. I'm only
Jar
gonna
Jar
hear
Binks
it
is
like
from the
that
east.
now.
Yeah.
Damn, we're doing this kid so bad. like he's just so
Yeah,
weird
like
now.
he literally says like wassa, and I'm like, oh, Jar Jar.
Misa, Misa
Misa.
Allomancer.
Wait, is he an Allomancer? Or
my-
he's just
No, he's not. He's
Breeze's
not. He's
servant.
not.
No,
Oh,
he's
okay.
not. He's the club's
Well, he might
Clubs?
be.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
could
He's
be.
his
We
like
don't know.
nephew.
Wait, it's his
He
nephew?
might be a smoker.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they're
Yeah.
related.
He references it as
Wait, he's related to
his
who?
nephew sometimes.
Oh, his
He-
nephew.
Clubs.
Okay, that's cute.
I
Clubs
did
has a
not get that,
nephew.
but good to know.
Apparently, I'm missing a
Um,
lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
because I don't remember.
Maybe it was mentioned
Wow,
like
there's a
once
lot
and
of
I breezed
information.
over.
But
Yeah, it's and condensed into 8 chapters. That's crazy. We get a lot of
yeah,
stuff out of this.
Mhm.
it was a lot of information for 8 chapters. But like, it was explained so well that I think any of the main stuff like is drilled into my memory,
Hmm.
even though I didn't look at my
Yeah.
notes.
yeah,
And
like
also,
'cause
like
it's
go ahead.
go. No, sorry. Go ahead, Ren.
I was to say, in a book like this, like you need a lot of exposition at the beginning because it's a
Yeah.
whole. They have to explain the whole world, and like there's a ton of characters you're meeting, and like all of their motivations and stuff. So imagine it will sort of taper off as the book continues. In
yeah,
terms of, like,
for sure. I'd assume it's like any other like fantasy or like series where like you have to kind of go over.
yeah, there's just so much to set up.
Yeah. But
But
like
I
it
think
was
it's done
done
so
well where I wasn't annoyed by how much exposition there was.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more too because I was just very
Yeah.
intrigued by the whole world.
It
We
was a
actually
lot
got
of
world
exposition
building.
that still left me with questions, which is I think good. It doesn't just explain everything to me all at once.
Yeah.
Which is what I like
One
about
more
books.
Yeah.
books in general.
In general,
Yeah.
in general, yes.
One more sort of important lore point in that chapter that they bring up is the like background of the Lord Ruler. They say he ruled all the world. He was the creator, protector, and punisher of mankind. He had saved them from the deepness, capital D. Then had brought the ash and the mist
The
as a
big D.
punishment for the people's lack of faith. So it's like
Is
there's some sort of
is the
background lore of this. Like, what was the
you know like the little excerpts of the chapter? Is that
Mm-hmm.
like who, I know they have they probably explain it eventually who that's referring to. All those little excerpts at the
I
start
thought it
of
was a
every
different
chapter.
person each time is saying that stuff.
Is it?
That's what I was
I
thinking.
think it's Kelsier.
Is it
Yeah.
Kelsier?
Now I'm confused about how to pronounce his name. I think so because there's a mention at some point of him being some kind of like uh prophesized person.
Guy, yeah.
See, a part of me
And it
was thinking,
seems
because
like
like
it's
after
written
this
after the
chapter, it
pact,
made me
maybe.
wonder. I'm like, is this the Lord Ruler? Was he not always just because like he saved them and
Yeah, I
everything?
thought about that too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was just like a thought that passed. I was like, was he like actually like a good guy in the past, or like he thought he was a good guy? Because like they mentioned he saved them from the deepening, but like obviously like that's just a story the Lord Ruler could have spread, like
Yeah. But it could be because the one at the beginning of this chapter where that quote that I just read from says, "I never wanted this true, but somebody has to stop the deepness." So maybe
yeah,
it is
yeah.
Ah.
of past
So like him in the
like
past, like
truth
maybe he
about the Lord.
genuinely what? Because like actually, wait, no, I can't say this part because I think it's technically like it's like from TikTok stuff.
Oh, like spoilery
Oh no.
stuff.
It's no, it's not like a spoiler because I don't even know if it's true. But like what I know,
Mm.
it makes me lean into that idea more.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm fully in the Cosmere TikTok. Like,
Cosmere.
oh, that's like the world.
The
The name,
universe,
the
I guess.
world of his like a multi-universe.
Yeah, his
Because
Oh,
multiverse. Yeah, it's called the
all
Cosmere.
his books are related.
that's
Yeah, I think
cool.
majority of his books are in the Cosmere. Like
Yeah.
there are like a few that are like their own thing, but majority are all in the same universe.
So
But
you'll
it's
see, like when we read
okay.
other series, you'll get little hints from other books,
But
and
is it
there's
like
some even
different
characters.
planets, or it's like the same planet, or
No, it's
like
different universes.
Yeah, universes. Yeah.
okay? Wait, you
I
said
think
the
There's
it's
same
some
yeah.
universe though.
characters that are universe hoppers, so they'll
Oh,
go
Yeah.
wait,
and make
what?
appearances.
Oh my god, wait, this
Yeah,
is blowing my mind right now.
Spider-Man,
yeah,
the
Holy shit! Across the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the
All right, no,
Spider-Verse.
yeah.
that's really cool though, because if it's like a different universe, but like the characters are showing up because they got whatever powers, that's really cool. Dang.
I
All
will say
right,
Yeah.
I
I'm
do
excited.
love multiversal like books like that connect to
Mhm,
each other.
mhm.
I know Throne of Glass is like that.
As long as they don't get
What?
too contrived like the MCU and that
Oh
shit.
no,
I'm
yeah.
like, stop. They're like dogpile every single character into like one universe. I'm like,
The
that's
thing is
Oh
enough.
though,
no,
I
it's
think it's like they like touch each other, but it's not like Avengers or whatever, where they're literally like the entire story is
Hmm.
about the multiverse.
I mean, I would even be cool with like an Easter egg where it's like you're like, let's say we're in this book
Yeah.
and like another of his characters is getting described as like a passerby, or like they interact, but like this character doesn't realize that the other characters from this other book universe. That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, like in
Whoa.
one of the books I'm reading, like it's like multiversal, and I read like one of the series, and I'm like on another one, and like when they're describing like these ancient beings, you like I realized that those ancient beings that left the Earth are actually just the people from the other universe who had
Mm.
gone through like
Dang.
a portal to go to that universe. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking cool.
Dang, I love
Yeah.
books.
I love me some
That's what
books.
I love about books.
but yeah,
Advertisement for
and
books.
for your previous theorizing about the beginnings of the chapters, I will also remain.
So,
Yeah.
we get an explanation. Is what you're saying?
I would
Okay.
Oh
assume
yeah,
so. I would assume so.
Yes.
Yeah,
you'll
but
you'll get an
Yeah.
explanation, and it'll be a satisfying one.
Good.
hell
Love
yeah.
that. Love
Yeah.
that
But
for us.
anything else for chapter 6? Or are we good to chapter 7 now?
We're good.
Yeah, I didn't have
Okay,
anything else.
chapter 7, we meet Kelsey's
The
brother,
brother.
Marsh. Much less cool of a name. Uh,
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, is that
Yeah,
a nickname?" And he's like, "No." Right? Isn't that what he says?
yeah.
yeah,
I was born
yeah.
like
His
this.
mom kind of was like, nah. Marsh for the first one. Oh, this one next one looks like a Kelsier. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's
They're like, oh, this one's got the drama.
I can kind of feel where he's coming from though, because I mean,
Yeah.
we only meet Kelsier after he survived the pits.
Yeah, and he like
We don't.
becomes
Mhm.
like better, kind of.
Yeah,
He literally is
but the
Gojo. Now that I'm
discussion.
thinking about it, I did not think about that before. But after you mentioned it, I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, he's right. He's gotten trauma, but he's still, for some reason, is so like Genki, and so just like happy-go-lucky.
yeah, you're right.
Has
He
to
gives
smile
Gojo
through the
vibes, and in
pain.
fact, it's what Kelsier right now is Gojo if he went through something extremely traumatic. Um, but we never met him before his traumatic episode. He probably
Mhm.
sounded like a
Yeah.
little shit, to be honest.
Are you
Probably.
the strongest because you're Kelsier, or are you
Are you?
There
Kelsier
you
because you're the
Because you're the
Because
strongest?
strongest,
you're the
yo.
strongest.
For real.
So yeah, I'd be
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
tight
there's
if I were March too.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I totally get Marsh. Just even though like he's like cool and I like him, like you can tell that growing up he must have been the most annoying piece of shit. Like
Yeah.
ever.
yeah. Well, Kelsier also just like murdered a bunch of people, and Marcia's like, "Do you not feel bad about that?" And he's like, "No."
He's like they're either
Actually,
nobles or they sided with those nobles.
yeah,
They
they're with
deserve
me
to
or against
die.
me.
Yeah, absolutely no nuance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no nuance
Yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah, yeah.
No nuance whatsoever. It's
It's just
just
the little
black and
guy.
white.
And
But there is a
Um,
line at the beginning of this where Marsh's like, how can you be so flippant about something like this? And Kelsier says, because Marsh, humor is the only thing I've got left. Humor and determination.
Yo,
So he's literally
he
like,
sounds like
yeah,
he is literally on
I
his
have to
last string. Like
smile
if he
through
doesn't have the humor,
things.
he will just go ape shit. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
he will actually just kill everyone, I think,
yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, so he's an angry man.
What a funny guy. I love
Uh,
this guy.
And
What
Bin
a
was
silly little guy.
sneaking, listening to their talk, and Kelsier catches her.
Mhm.
And then like they kind of go into more of like why she had luck in the past, and this made me laugh because they're like, yeah, lead in the water, and I was like, people are just drinking
Yeah.
lead everywhere.
Yo, they got ash falling from the sky. Like they clearly
That's a
have
good
no
point.
health.
Yeah,
You know. Yeah. Don't
There's
forget your
no
daily dose
health
of
department.
elementic metals. Yeah. But was it lead that's luck? I forget the metal.
they said lead. I don't know if lead. I think lead has no lead gives you pewter because it's tin and lead.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the metals again? So there's
What those
tin,
each?
and
There's tin.
tin is,
Tin is for the enhancing senses.
Yeah.
and
Pewter
then the
is for
alloys.
enhancing,
Let's see.
or not pewter. Wait, no, yeah, pewter is for
Yeah, for
enhancing your
physical one.
physical body. Steel is for pulling metal objects, I think. Iron
Yeah,
is
and
for
iron
pushing.
is for
Or yeah,
pulling.
iron's for pushing.
Other way, I think.
Steel
Or maybe the
push.
other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mixed the iron and steel. Yeah. And what were the ones for copper
Smoking.
and
I think copper's the one
There's
that hides you.
Yeah, and then the one that you want,
no,
the
copper's for
seeker
pushing
one.
mines.
Oh, so copper's
What?
luck. Is it?
That's what I
Cop-
wrote, I
no,
think.
copper
Or
cloud. Remember copper
Carbon
cloud?
oh,
cloud.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So it.
Smoker. Yeah,
it's you.
copper cloud is smoker, and then the opposite is
There's
seeker. But I forget what
also
Oh
what
yeah,
metal that is.
bronze is letting you sense
bronze.
allomancers. Copper is for
Okay,
hiding from seekers.
We've also got
and
brass,
then
zinc.
Yeah, it was brass and
Those must
zinc.
be the emotional ones.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because they
okay,
said like it's a main metal and then
the
what are
alloy of the
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 like
metal.
alloy
sister.
of the
Yeah.
metal. Yeah.
Mm.
Wait, we went through 6. What are the last 2?
Wait.
No, it
We
was
got
the
all
No, we
of
did. No, we got
the
iron and
wait.
bronze,
steel, tin and pewter, bronze and copper, brass and zinc.
Oh, okay,
brass and
okay.
zinc.
I'm
So
Yeah.
looking
we just
at if you
continue.
look at the map of the city, there's a gate for every metal around the
Ooh.
outside of the
Ah.
city. That's what I'm looking at to remember what all of them are.
Oh, and then I remember when because this is when he's also teaching Vin, right, to use her powers, chapter 7.
Yeah.
And then he was like, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And I
Opposite
was like, Kelsier
reaction.
Newton.
Yeah.
He's just physics
Newton,
Love
teacher.
he's
science.
Edward Elric. He is
I
an
love me
element.
my alchemy shit. It's always so
Me
cool.
too.
Yeah, it's good. It's
It's one of my
good.
favorite magic systems.
Hmm.
Oh hell
Because
yeah.
it's like sciencey.
It's
Yeah.
sciencey, yeah, which is why I
When I was
like
a
this
kid,
magic
like
system.
that's what I thought like chemistry class would be like, and then it
Alchemy,
was a
yeah.
real disappointment.
You're telling me I can't make a philosopher's stone in chemistry
I
class?
think I made a penny gold. Like it wasn't really gold, but I made like a copper penny, like oxidized to
Plated.
turn like like a goldish color. That was cool.
Mhm.
I
It's
Yeah.
also
kind of like
remember like one of
alchemy.
my favorite books as a kid was like all about alchemy and like stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm gonna be an alchemist when I grow up.
It.
Yeah.
You ask
Yeah.
your mom. You're like, yeah, where do I go to
What a
alchemy school?
disappointment.
We all had the same childhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this book I once read. I forgot what the name was, but there was an alchemy, and then one of them was paired with the sun, and the other one with the moon.
Mm.
Ooh.
and there were twins. I forgot the
Yeah,
name.
wait. That's the one I'm
Frost
talking
and
about.
Silver.
That's
Oh,
exactly the
really?
one I'm talking about. Yes, bro. No, because I remember in that series they make a point because they have like auras or whatever. They make a point
Yes,
that
yes.
like,
It smells
silver and
like
gold are the most rare. And then you learn later on in the series they're like, we lied to you. The most rare is black, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a black aura alchemist. It's what of my first thought was.
wait, what was the name of this series? I've literally tried so
Oh,
many times to
silver
find
and
it.
gold aura alchemy book. Oh fuck. What was it? Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna find this after this meeting, guys.
Yeah, cause like I thought it was called. There's a book called The Alchemist. So I thought there was that one.
It's not that.
Uh,
That's like a
it's not that.
philosophy book.
Yeah, and then there's another book that
Oh, The
had an.
Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel.
That's the
Oh.
book.
That's a
That's
very
a
long
fucking
time.
book.
I have heard of
Oh,
that though.
dude,
I've never read it.
it was what I fell in love with this book as a kid.
Me
Like,
too.
and because also like it's not just like alchemy, it's like also historical. Like a lot of historical figures pop up. Like who was the person? Woman became a knight in the French army. Joan of Arc was like one of the silver aura alchemists in the back in the day. Like they talk about like Charlemagne. Like, oh, so cool. Highly recommend. Well, I mean it's a kid's book, so I don't know if it aged as well, but like it was so cool when I was young.
Yeah, this is
Mm.
yeah, the female is the silver twin, the male is the
Yeah.
gold yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and you learn like the villain from the first book actually has the rarest like aura of them all, which is black, and I'm like, that's so
Ooh.
cool.
Yep, this is the book that got me into wow.
I literally looked up book about twins with gold and silver alchemy. I
Oh
don't
my
even remember
god.
if they were twins or not, but okay, highly recommend if
Oh,
anyone
and
ever wants
then
to
the
read
name
like a
is The Alchemist. The first name of the book is The Alchemist, but Alchemist spelled with a Y.
ah
Oh.
yo, because it's
Wow.
cool that way.
Because
Hell
it's
yeah.
cool.
Oh wait,
Like
we have to
magic with
leave
a
soon.
Oh.
Wait,
CK.
we have to leave soon. Let's continue the book.
All right.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Uh,
well, chapter
so we
7
get
is like them going over like teaching the powers. I think that was pretty much
Mhm.
it for that, right? Aside from like
Yeah.
explaining some of the more of like the smokers and seekers and all that.
We learn that if the metals aren't the right purity, it's detrimental to the body, and
Yeah.
also if you use them for too much or too long.
Yeah, and you can flare your powers like to
Yeah.
burn
Mhm.
them faster and it'll be more intense, but if you do it too long, like something
It
bad
looks
happens.
weird.
And it's
It's
implied
weird.
that that's what happened to his wife from what I was reading. Like she flared her tin for too long and I think she burned out and something happened to her.
Mm,
Damn, that sucks. I wonder like what it would
damn,
be,
that
because like
sucks.
tin makes you more like sensitive, right? So she could have,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they did
Um,
explain like if you're flaring your tin and like someone shines a light in your eyes, you can go like you'll be blinded. Like so I'm thinking if you're flaring all the time, like your brain might just collapse from the like overstimulation.
that's
Mm,
true.
yeah, I think it's just
Um,
hard on your body.
and then
Yeah.
there's let's see what else happens in this chapter since Miana, what time do you have to leave?
Like 15 minutes.
Soon.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I think she basically just she has to try and get up onto the wall, and it's hard, unsurprisingly.
That sounds terrifying though. Just like blasting yourself up and then hoping you can get down.
Yeah. But
and
then it's like Kel's like, "Oh, you're on your own," but then he's like, "Actually, I'm here to save you. I've been here the whole time."
that's such a cute
What a
like
guy.
like
Yeah, very
because
Best
you in the deep
dad.
is
end type
not
of future.
yeah. Yeah, because Kelsia could be her dad. How old is
Yeah,
he again?
he's 35-ish.
35.
He could be he's a young
Yeah.
dad. He'd be a young dad.
Yeah, he could
I mean, that would have been my dad's age actually when I was Vin's age.
But Vin's like 14, right? He was only 20.
16, I think.
Yeah, my dad was
if
21 when he had
yeah,
me.
Oh
21.
my
Yeah, it would have
god.
been 21, yeah.
Dang, that's young.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, yeah,
Young
Kelsia
dad
could be Vin's
vibes.
dad. Young
Damn,
dad. Father Simon?
You might be a Mistborn.
Yes, I'm gonna quit this job.
Just try it. Eat some metal and see what happens.
Eat some lead
eat
and let
some
us know how
lead.
that turns out. I would
You've
like to
seen in the
say,
news.
kids do not eat lead.
You won't
That
try
was a
this at
joke.
home.
Yeah, this is a joke.
29-year-old
Don't eat
dies
any
in the
kind of
hospital
metal.
after ingesting 1 gram of lead.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah.
We learned that metal in your body can't be pushed or pulled, which is good.
Yeah, like
That's
because
how
like the piercing is just like she like bends it, so there's no. It's all internal technically.
Yeah, that's how the Steel Inquisitors don't get those weird ass eye pins ripped out.
But why do they
Yeah,
have their
that makes
pins in
sense.
there? That's
Or
what
why
I
they have
don't
them in there. But
Mm,
also
Yeah.
part of me is like,
yeah.
like can't you just do what she does and have like or does it pierce the brain so you can't like
I think if you pierce the body, it already is I mean, as to why they
okay.
don't have earrings and like her, I think it's because there's probably something
I'm
the
sure there's
bigger
a
the metal,
something
the more power it is.
yeah, I'm assuming it's something like that so they literally can't be affected by any allomancy.
Yeah. But we'll find out because we still haven't fought with the Steel
Y-
Inquisitor yet.
Yeah, we just know that Kelsey like
Even
distracted them and like led them and like
yeah,
led them around, but like not we haven't seen like a full fight against them.
yeah, we have. I imagine it's gonna
Mhm.
be like insane because they don't sound human.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Scary dudes. There's also a moment in this chapter where Vin is thinking about how she and her brother Reen were always like moving from city to city, and she says he kept moving, always going as if running from something. So I'm
More
Mm.
foreshadowing.
interested if that's foreshadowing about something in their
Mhm.
past. Like maybe he knew her origins, that
Mm.
she like was a Mistborn and that was dangerous or something like that, or
Yeah.
maybe it has something to do with where he went, like he just disappeared. And then we meet the Mist Wraiths.
The undulating gross
I think they are kind of
scavengers.
cute. They sound cute to me. I'm sure they look disgusting. They look like
Yeah,
a
they
bunch
sound
of meat
I will
parts
say,
together.
for some reason, when they explained they pick up parts and they incorporate it, a part of me was like, "Yo, what if Lord Renault was a Mistwraith?"
What?
Oh, you just ate the guy.
I know it's like I said, it's definitely not true, but a part of me is like, "Am I cooking with this one?" I don't think I
Put it
am.
on
I
put it
don't.
on
I
book
really
talk
don't
out
think
there,
I am.
Lewis. Let the comment section decide. But yeah, I thought
But yeah,
I don't know. I guess it's just more world building. I guess we'll see if anything happens with like Miss Race in the future. But yeah, I thought that was like a
I'm
cool thing
assuming
to show
I trust him
what the
that
thing
like
is.
if they're showing us what a Mistwraith actually is, I'm sure it's gonna come up at some point.
And it's funny that
yeah,
they describe it as like what it actually is, and then everyone's like terrified of it. But like really, Kelsier was just like, yeah, it won't bother you if you don't like go near it, kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
like
mean,
just
it is scary if you're
Yeah.
just a regular ass person.
And you see that shit, you coming home terrified.
Yeah, and also you like can't see through the mist like they can. Like
yeah.
The last
Allomancy.
thing you
So
see
you
is
would
just
probably
it.
you would see
Yeah.
it until it got really close and like it's just like a shadow basically.
And then it
A
absorbs you.
gross shadow. Yeah.
And we also get to they get picked up by Lord Renault, or technically it's Kelsier's like butler.
yeah,
Mhm.
which is actually my
How do you
favorite
say his?
character.
How do you? Oh, I love him. I loved him immediately. But how do you
Yeah.
say his name?
So,
Says. I
is
say
it
says.
Says?
Saved? Because my brain kept going
Yes.
Sazed.
I said
So
Sazed. It
when
gives it
I
like a Middle
first read
Eastern
it,
vibe.
that's how I read it. But then his like nickname for him is
It's
just Saze.
Says.
So I was
But
like,
Oh,
that's
is that how he
Says.
says?
the Mistborn
But the
wiki
full name,
Yeah.
says
Says.
the
Sazed.
wiki
Sazed.
Says.
Sazed?
Says that.
says it.
That's how the pronunciation is?
Okay.
Says.
According to
Says. Okay,
according to the
that
official
makes sense.
Mistborn wiki. But
Okay,
you know,
Sazed.
like Sanderson said, it doesn't really matter because I also see people saying I always say Sazed, so and call him Saze for short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
as
if
long as
it's
we all
Saze,
know who we're talking
Sazed
about.
makes
Sazed
more
would make sense if it's like
Yeah.
with his nickname.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Sazed. I gotta incorporate that now while I read.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite character.
He's
Yeah.
he's a chill dude. I like him.
And like,
And
when
then
they had like the little joke, and he's like, "I thought you guys had no humor." He's like, "Ours is just
Yeah.
more subtle than yours."
He's like a little silly.
Yeah.
and then
But yeah, then we go to his big fancy house that's very clean,
Mm.
and we find out that when they wanted her to like go to balls and stuff, and then they're like, maybe not actually.
Yeah, what else
She
has
decides
happened
to
to this
stick
chapter? I
around.
forget.
Yeah,
I mean, not
just leaving up.
much other than Vin has her misgivings about trusting Kelsier, which
That's
has
fair.
some attention.
Mhm.
Kelsier truly is trusting though, because if I were around with a teenager who just wanted to stay around because she's curious as to what's happening, I'd be like, you're,
All of that.
you're leaving.
Yeah, she's like she wants
Um,
to see what happens. Oh yeah, okay. So they decide that she's not gonna be Lord Renault's heir. She's just gonna be like his country niece or something, and that's why she's
Country
like
bumpkin.
somewhat uncouth to go around. There's a scene like when they say that when they're talking about that. Says, which would explain why she's a bit less refined than other court members, Kelsier said. No offense, Vin. Vin looked up from hiding a piece of napkin-wrapped bread in her shirt pocket. Why would I be offended? Kelsier smiled, never
Puts
mind.
the breadsticks in your purse.
Like she doesn't even know. She's
She's
like,
funny,
what?
yeah. She's like, what? Yeah,
Never mind.
and? What are you gonna do about it?
But that was the first
Yeah. Wow, it's so
little
refreshing to
comedy
actually
scene with Vin in
like
it, which is nice.
all of these
Vin,
characters, though.
Vin is just a street
Yeah.
urchin.
Yeah. Just like mouthful. What?
Yeah, she's very like complex though, because honestly, like she's a strong girl for not like wanting to kill everyone after having such a hard life. Like I would have either like ended myself or like done something irrational. And she's kind
I
of just
mean,
like, oh, it is how it is.
It's one of the main trauma responses is just kind of like living in it
Yeah.
and just not really
Detachment.
feeling anything. Yeah,
Yeah, and
detachment.
she definitely does not feel that much, or positive emotions, I should say.
Yeah.
Damn, poor girl. Too many betrayals in her life.
For real, for real.
yeah, I also would not be okay if I were her.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah. I mean, I
if we
don't
see
think
her
she's
brother.
okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What
And that's the end of part 1 of
Whoa.
Mistborn.
Alright.
Part
like
2,
this-
Rebels Beneath a Sky of Ash, is a sick as
Dang.
hell title.
Hell yeah.
This is so. I gotta. The next stream title, I'll have to make like, oh, that's so metal or something. Make it a little metal joke.
Oh.
But yeah. I guess we're gonna read part 2 for the next time. There's 4
Yeah.
parts
Yeah.
in this. Okay, that sounds good.
Let
Part
me
2
see what the page count is there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a little bit shorter than
Yeah,
part
it's
1.
Oh, really? So we can read like
Yeah.
part 2 and plus a chapter or something. So like 8, 9.
I was thinking
through
just to keep it
something.
in parts, just to like keep it nice and
That's fine too.
like
yeah, and we can just read. We'll just read more for the next
For the
part.
next-
Yeah, because like I
Yeah.
feel like if we're doing it in parts, that's easier to talk about because it's like already split up into
Yeah,
those
the
themes
arcs
and
are already
sections.
kind of like,
Yeah.
together. Makes sense.
Well, yeah, we'll just have to read a little bit more for part 3.
All
and
right,
4.
I'm going to end the stream
Yeah.
and then we'll discuss dates. But anyway, thanks y'all for watching.
All
Not
right.
sure if you're still there, Kayla, but thanks for tuning in. So glad we could provide some entertaining background music, background podcast noises for you. And yeah, this
Hope
book
your
is
makeup
really
went
cool.
well.
I'm very excited for this book and the rest of the series.
Mm.
So can't wait
Find
to read
out
the
what
rest.
happens
Yeah,
next on Mistborn Z.
The Final Empire. All right, stopping the stream now.